All right, it's media day, 5-6-8. We talking with McKinney Head Coach Marcus Shavers. Coach, man, you look at this district. Yeah, you throw Rock Hill in there, and that's fine and dandy. But we looked over it earlier, me and my man Professor Diggs, and we say the sixth-place team in this district could probably finish second in every DFW 6A district. How tough is it for you guys, to fight through this district? And does it toughen you guys up to, not only for that particular season, but for seasons down the line?
Yeah, it's tough. And I think you're spot on with that. We were that sixth-place team, last year in this district. And so it's good football played. There's good football players in this district. There are really good coaches in this district. And you got to bring it every week. And I think there's a lot of parity, more parity than probably people give credit. I think our players, we all got good players. They're good players everywhere. You said throw Rock Hill into this district and nothing's fine and dandy about playing Rock Hill. I'm looking the other day, Rock Hill's got a quarterback that's got a Power 5, offers from, Division I schools, and so is a sophomore. And I'm like, golly, you jump out the frying pan into the fryer, but that's what you want, because you know that if you could go and compete in that district, and some people opt to go to lesser. A lot of people don't want to go play these type of folks every year. But we're just not the, kind of program that runs from that competition. You're in it. And if you're able to have success in it, you got a really good team that can go compete with anybody in the state. And so you want to find out about yourself. You want to find out the kind of coach you are. You want to find out what type of player you are. There's no better test than District 5-6-8.
Oh, absolutely. If you get one of those top four spots, you're so battle tested. All you got to look is Prosper the last couple of years. They go into some three. As the third team in that district and the fourth team in the district, and they found themselves 4 or 5 rounds in the playoffs. So you're well tested. That leads me to my question about non-district play for you. I asked a bunch of coaches about that, how you schedule for your non-district. It may be different for you, because you're going to be tested during the season. Maybe you don't want the huge test in the non-district. I don't know. Tell me who you got and what you hope to get out of that in your non-district schedule.
I think for us, non-district is about preparing us for a tough district. You want to play, really good football teams to prepare you to go and be successful in district play. For us, we're going to open up our season on a Saturday afternoon in the McKinney Classic versus Temple, and then we'll backdoor that game with Berkner, and then we'll have Flower Mound High School right before we jump into district play. And I look at all those teams, and they're all playoff football teams. And that's where, those are the type of teams you want to play, teams that have some playoff experience and that are solid programs. Those are tough football teams. They all got good players. They all got good coaches, very similar to the teams in our district. And so we look at we look at it from that perspective, and then we try to find, a good balance of what we're going to see schematically in our district as well. And then we try to go out and find teams. And so we feel like we got 3 quality opponents that, and then in addition to scrimmage and Lovejoy, we'll see 4 quality opponents going up into district play that we feel like will prepare our football team to go play, like you mentioned, some of the best football in the state.
I almost feel like when I talk to you about your team this year, I almost feel like I need to whisper. I almost feel like I'm giving out secrets, because if you're not a diehard fan of DFW football, you don't know that Keldrick Lester made his way up to McKinney, and you may not know about some of the younger guys like Brian Jackson and Xavier there. And I don't want to spill the beans. I don't want all these. I'm sure the coaches do, but I want the fans to know. Okay, now we're going to put some expectations on y'all. But talk about some of those guys we mentioned and what you hope they do for your squad.
We're excited about our football team, and we do. We have some good players that have been developing. Seems like they've been playing for a long time. You talk about guys like Brian and X, and they've been playing, varsity football, been, on the varsity scene since they were freshmen, and now they're going into their junior seasons. And obviously they have, a lot of notoriety. They're major college football prospects, but I'm excited for them to go and put some football on tape. I'm excited for them to go out there and play to their potential. And that's what we're all trying to do as players and coaches, is reach our full potential. And those are guys that if we go and get the full potential out of those, caliber football players, they're going to make a lot of plays that are going to help the McKinney Lions win football games. Quarterback Keldrick Luster, obviously when you have a guy at the position that has the experience that he has, that's as talented as he is, and all the things that he brings to the table, it gives you a chance to go win every single football game. And so, but those type of players, you can look on every roster and find them. I think that we talk to our players a lot about it. Everybody's got good quarterbacks. We look at all the teams, they've been having them.
Right.
The difference is how we're going to go out and perform, how you're going to prepare. It's going to come down to the little things. You're not going to go out and just out quarterback or out athlete anybody in this district. It's good football all over the place. And so we really just put a emphasis on what you're doing as opposed to, or we put a big emphasis on how you're doing it as opposed to what you're doing, because we're all doing the same thing. We all got good players. How are you going about putting the work in to do it? So those guys that you mentioned, along with the other guys on our football team, they've been doing a really good job of that, and we're excited. We're excited to be able to go out and compete in this district. We feel confident in the work that we've put in. We really, really invested more, like a major investment in the weight room. And we've always lifted. We've always, don't misunderstand me, but we really just invested in the weight room aspect of just getting bigger and stronger and using that as a resource for our football team. And I think it's going to pay dividends for us on Friday nights.
How you guys looking defensively? I know Mekhi Frazier's back at linebacker. Talk about some of the other guys you have coming back and how you kind of hope to hold down some of these powerful offenses in your district.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah, we mentioned Mekhi Frazier. He'll be coming back, and he'll be a leader in our front seven, along with guys like Royce Carver, Miles Elam, Bryce Lane. Those guys all come back. We got a dynamic sophomore and Riley Pettyjohn, who's going to be seeing significant playing time for us and helping our defense make plays on Friday night. So we're excited about those guys at the linebacker position and some of the things that they're going to be able to bring to the table. Up front on our defensive line, we'll be young. We'll have some new guys in there, but we'll also return DK Peanut Abrams, and he'll be a guy that we feel like makes a difference up front. The guys around him have been working so hard, guys like Edwin and Parker Manasseh and some guys like that. But we're young up there, and we still have to develop some depth in that group. But it's starting to come along. In the secondary, I think is where we're the strongest at. I think you look at our safeties. Guys like Xavier Filsamy, who's moved over to defensive back full time, and Christian Ford, two very, very, good athletes. Both of them are sub 1,100-meter guys. X has a 10.7, 10.5 on record, and Ford, has been a 10.8 guy, 10.9 guy. So we got some guys back there that are big and they can run and hit at the safety position. So I'm really excited about that, and some young corners out there that have been doing a very good job. Like our defensive line of development hadn't played yet, but guys like DeAndre Shepard and Ashton McShane is a name you need to remember. He's as long, as good looking as 6-foot corner that's out there. And we're excited about him. He competes well, and he's been getting a lot of reps this spring, and as well as his 7-on-7 season this summer. So the pieces are in place for us to be a competitive football team in 5-6-7.
Speaking of 5-6-8, you're going to see some new coaches. At least half the teams half the teams in the league got some new guys out there, especially the two people everybody looks at, Allen and Geyer, but then you got Rock Hill with the new one. I know Coach McBride stepped down. Talk about being able to, you're playing the mind game with the other coaches. Well, now you got new blood in there. You got some new dogs in there. You got to think about how you're going to manipulate their minds, right?
It's crazy, man. I'm going into year 5 here in McKinney, and I'm one of the old cats in the district already, you know. But no, just first of all, a tremendous group of coaches that are leading up really, really good programs. But you know, you just you know, study them. You know, you watch the film of the guys that are on film. You know, us coaches aren't really playing each other. You know, I'm gonna watch the film on those guys, and we'll assess their team off of film and the way we've done every team that we've played. And I think that, you know, it'll be good football, and we'll be watching that, but it'll be fun to, you know, just get to know new guys and see the differences and the changes that they make. And, you know, but ultimately, you know, we'll just be watching the 3 games that they played before us and trying to, you know, figure out who they are based off of what they put on film. But they all have a tremendous, you know, background of success, and I expect, you know, nothing but the, you know, best coaches that we're going to be going against. So we're going to have to be ready to roll.
Now, I was looking over your schedule before we got on here. It looks like you got some of your what people would call the big dogs in the district at the back end of your schedule. How important is it going to be to get off to a good start, especially with the new quarterback in district play, to make sure that you're putting yourself in a spot when you get to those back end games that you can still get in the playoff spot? And
no doubt. I think you know, I think momentum's a real thing. I think that us being able to start early and start off successful will give us a better chance, an opportunity to finish that way. So it's very important that we're ready to roll at the beginning of the season, specifically the beginning of district play, and playing those teams that we have to play. And then when you get into the back end of the schedule, a man's corner, you know, you're battle tested, and you've had some success. Your kids are confident, and you have a chance to go in there and slay the Giants.
Yeah, it puts you in a perfect spot, man. I'm excited about this. Again, it is tough. It's the toughest district. I mean, I know 19-6A will try to be squawking in my ear talking about their Katy schools, and 11-6A will be talking their mess over on this side. But you look at 5-6A, man. Like I said, you can't tell me a team from 11-6A or 19-6A can finish 6th and possibly finish 2nd, all over in a ton of other districts. So I wish you luck this year, and I appreciate you joining me today.
Man, I appreciate you having me on. This is you guys do a good job, and I'm just a fan of high school football. And so when I'm not playing, when I'm playing, I'm secretly looking and listening to what y'all are saying and acting like it doesn't bother me, but a lot of respect for what y'all do, and just glad to be on, and glad y'all thought enough to have us on here.
No problem. And I'll tell you what, if Diggsy ever bothers you, man, you can go. Feel free to go right back at him, man. He can get hit with the stray if he needs to. It's all right.
No doubt. I appreciate you.
Thank you.